Oh, there we go.
Now we're ready to go.
All right, do it, Sean.
Mine still says off air.
Mine says live.
Mine says live.
Alright, well. Alright, welcome. This is another episode of the Sports Pulse. I am Sean McNiff,
I'm Brian Brennan.
And I'm Ethan Winter.
and right now you're listening to Cowboy Movie by David Crosby, switching it up a little from the usual hip-hop headbangers I throw down on the intros. But speaking of Cowboys, Dez Bryant is in a little bit of a pickle here. There's an alleged video of him going around, being shopped around to media outlets of him doing illegal activities. It's not really
Well,
um
you shouldn't say illegal activities because we don't
That's-
really. I mean,
That's too
it's
broad.
kind of. Yeah, it could be. All we know is it was an incident at Walmart, which could be anything really. Could have,
And-
could have
and
stolen.
from- And from the report that I heard or saw, I think this happened like 4 years ago.
Right, it
Yeah.
happened in
2011.
2011. I'm looking at, for all we know, he could have been stealing DVDs from that bin that Walmart has where they just throw all the crap in.
But
Well,
I
the,
mean-
the people are making it out to be, the sports media is making it out to be as bad or even worse than the Ray Rice video. So,
Yeah. I was just about to say that the
Yeah.
alleged video that may or may not be out there is allegedly or supposedly worse than the Ray Rice video. So now this is my take on this.
well, before you say
Yes,
that, there's a police report that just came out today of from 2011. It will just be made public today, and
Well, it's always
It-
been public because police
Well-
records are public. Like police reports are public. Like anyone can go and look it up. It's just
yeah,
Yeah,
but you have to go
being
there and look it
released
up.
to the
But
media.
the public. All right. Well, God damn it. All right. But the police questioned Des Bryant about an incident where a woman was pulled out of her car by a black mall by a black male in a Walmart parking lot around 6 a.m. The victim was Des Bryant's longtime girlfriend and the mother of his two children. She also said that she got into an argument with another man, but she adamantly denies that she was injured or even assaulted. And no charges were filed after the police talked to everybody. So that could be what the video is of, if there even is a video. But we don't really know.
Right.
It's just a big fat rumor now.
It's a huge question mark. I mean,
Yeah.
nobody knows really. I mean, it's not like when Ray Rice happened. I mean, we kind of that all happened very quickly.
Well, the video
mean,
came out first in Ray Rice's
Right,
case.
and that also, I mean, that happened in February. Everybody knew about it by March. I mean, this happened in 2011, and we're just finding out about it now, which is
Yeah.
what makes it really skeptical to me.
And
fishy. At first, I was like, oh shit, Des Bryant's in trouble, Cowboys, ha ha ha. But now I'm like,
Yeah.
now I've had to put on my journalist hat a little bit, and I have to be like, we really don't know that much about it. I mean, we don't know.
And actually, now that you mentioned, now I'm putting my journalist hat on. Well, it seems to me like we have a little bit more journalistic integrity than some of the media the last month or so. And so, and this is my take on the Des Bryant. I think because he's a free agent now, or going to be a free agent, and he's gonna make a shit ton of money. I think someone is just gonna be like, is being like to Dez, hey, I have that video of you from 4 years ago from Walmart of that thing that happened, and they may not have that video, but they're just saying that so they can extort money from Dez.
Yeah.
And from that police report, it sounds like that video may not have anything, like incriminating against Dez. You know,
Yeah.
like,
What makes it even more skeptical?
not done anything wrong.
Yeah. What makes it even more skeptical is Dez Bryant's in contract negotiations right now.
Yeah.
It comes out right now. When
Yeah.
they're.
The one thing.
I think the Cowboys still have a couple of weeks to put the franchise tag on them if they do.
The one.
So this puts them in a squeeze.
I think they have till March 7th or something.
The only thing that makes me, believe
right.
that something about this is legitimate is the fact that the Cowboys haven't, one, signed Dez Bryant to the franchise tag, or two, signed him to a long-term extension, which kind of surprises me because after the year Dez Bryant had, I feel like they'd have been all over that. So I'm a little surprised.
Well, also, there's this crazy theory that some people think that, maybe Jerry Jones has something to do with this to drive Dez's price down to make it easier for the Cowboys to re-sign him.
Oh, that's all
a little far-fetched, but I mean,
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to drive Dez's price tag down, though, so it will make it easier for the Cowboys to re-sign him to a long.
If it's legitimate, it'll definitely drive it'll drive his price down. But if not, you're talking about a star receiver on the market.
Well, even if it doesn't turn out to be legitimate and it was just a hoax and people trying to extort money from Dez, it's tarnishing his reputation. So he already came into the league with a lot of off the field and character issues, and so so that's gonna drive his price tag down either way.
We'll see. I mean, I think that Dez Bryant, coming off of the season he had, regardless of these circumstances, will still draw a lot of interest. That's just assuming the Cowboys don't place the franchise tag on him, which ultimately I think they will, because he is their most pressing free agent that's out there right now. Who else are they going to give the franchise tag to? Well,
DeMarco Murray.
Other than DeMarco Murray, excuse me. But I would think that in the situation like that, if you had to choose between Dez Bryant and DeMarco Murray, I'd still take Dez Bryant.
Yeah, well, if they put the franchise tag on Dez Bryant, that'll be more of a cap hit, and it'll be less of a chance of them resigning.
Well, would you rather have DeMarco Murray or Dez Bryant?
Actually,
yeah, that's what it's coming down to now, is Dez Bryant or DeMarco Murray.
I'd rather have Dez Bryant.
I actually would rather have DeMarco Murray because nowadays in the NFL, it's a lot harder to develop elite running backs, where it's a lot easier to develop good receivers. Just look at Julian Edelman. I mean, he's a former quarterback, and now he's a pretty good receiver. So,
well, my thoughts on DeMarco Murray is running backs break down all the time. I mean, we've seen plenty of running backs have seasons like the one DeMarco Murray just had, and then go downhill. I mean,
well, that's why you would place the franchise tag on DeMarco Murray, because it's just essentially a one-year contract, so you can see whether he's going to break down or not.
I personally would just rather have Dez Bryant. I think that when you have an elite receiver like this, you got to give him the money. Like, show him the money. Tony Romo and him were fantastic together this season. You might as well build off of that.
Right,
yeah,
but like what Sean said with Dez having a bigger cap hit, you're going to have a smaller cap hit if you tag DeMarco Murray, therefore making it easier to re-sign Dez Bryant to a long-term contract.
Do you think money's ever been an option? Like, do you think money's ever been an issue for Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys? No. I mean, there's a good chance both There's a good chance both of these guys are probably back in Dallas. I'm just saying that my preference would be to give DeMarco Murray Des Bryant the money.
Well, the NFL isn't like the Major League Baseball.
Well, I know that, but I'm just saying.
So they can't go over that.
I'm just saying that money's really never been an issue in terms of Jerry Jones. They've always found a way to make money work.
This is cap money. It's not.
I know.
Yeah, but Jerry Jones has always been able to make it work with the cap space and everything.
Right. I'm not disagreeing that the Cowboys have to choose between DeMarco Murray or Des Bryant. I think that they'll ultimately end up with both if they want to. So I'm just saying that if I was Jerry Jones, I would choose to put DeMarco Murray on the franchise tag and then sign Dez to a long-term deal because, like you said, Brian, he is more important than DeMarco Murray.
We'll see. I mean, I don't think that either of them are going to end up leaving the Cowboys. I think the trio the Cowboys have right now, you can even call it a quartet, if you will, with I'm so bad at like numerical representations. Yeah. But I'm thinking like Tony Romo, Des Bryant, DeMarco Murray, Jason Witten. That's a pretty solid quartet right there.
Yeah, that's a pretty solid core.
The problem with the Cowboys is they don't have an offensive line coach. Redskins stole him from them, so let's see how their offensive line holds up this season, and if DeMarco Murray will be averaging 100-plus yards per game. I don't know. But on to other NFL talk. Adrian Peterson just got restated today as of like an hour or two ago. The judge ruled in his favor in a lawsuit against the NFL Players Association.
Hold on right there. Yeah. I just got an ESPN update saying that Adrian Peterson's ruling only overturns the suspension. It does not necessarily mean reinstatement, and that will go back to CBA process. So that's a
I got that too. That's interesting.
Pretty big turn of events there.
Wait, so what does that mean? He's not able to play the first game of next season?
Well, we don't know that yet. That's not set in stone or anything.
So this is the article. A federal judge has cleared the way for Minnesota Vikings running back Adrian Peterson to possibly be reinstated, ruling that an NFL arbitrator failed to meet his duties in a child abuse case that shook the league. U.S. District Judge David Doty issued his order Thursday, less than 3 weeks after hearing oral arguments. Doty overruled NFL arbitrator Harold Henderson's denial of Peterson's appeal. The ruling sends the case back for further proceedings consistent with the rulings of the collective bargaining agreement. The league suspended Peterson through at least April 15th under its personal conduct policy, but Doty said in his 16-page ruling that Henderson simply disregarded the law of the shop and in doing so failed to meet his duty under the CBA. NFL spokesman Brian McCarthy said the league will review the decision, and the NFLPA executive director, Maurice Smith, said in a statement, the decision was a victory for the rule of law, due process, and fairness. The crux of the issue is the application of the enhanced personal conduct.
All right, Ethan, I'm reading the article right now. This goes on and on and on. You can kind of stop it there.
I didn't realize.
Yeah, so
this goes on and on.
Wait, so he was suspended through April 15, and that suspension just got lifted?
Yeah, I guess so.
So that means he can play, right?
It opens the door for him to be reinstated by the NFL. What it basically means is Adrian Peterson's going to be reinstated by the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, I read that the NFL can still appeal it, and they probably will, but they probably won't win it. So
right, Adrian Peterson's playing in the NFL next year.
Yeah, depends on where he plays next. He's not a big fan of the Vikings anymore.
Fantasy. Well, actually, there's now. I've actually seen a few reports where Adrian Peterson is kind of asking the Vikings to trade him.
Yeah.
Right, and I've heard that he really wants to play, ironically enough, for the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh
Huh.
wow, I
Might-
can't wait for that.
I know, right? Isn't that? I bet that
Well-
makes you so excited, Sean.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
Well,
If they have a good offensive line and Des Bryant and Adrian Peterson next year, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
so this brings up
I might
another.
give up the NFL.
This brings up another question. Who would you rather have if you're the Cowboys, Adrian Peterson or DeMarco Murray?
Adrian
DeMarco
Peterson.
No, DeMarco
Whoa,
Murray,
Adrian
proven.
Peterson.
Um,
Whoa.
I guess Adrian Peterson.
Thank
'cause
you.
I guess their offensive line is like, I don't know. DeMarco Murray was only good because his offensive line was spectacular.
Adrian
But
Peterson.
Adrian
until
Peterson has been awesome with a bad offensive line his whole career.
until last year, we thought Adrian Peterson was the best running back in football, and basically, I mean,
Yeah,
you do expect him to, suck next year because he
yeah.
was
That's
away
true.
because
I
the
don't
Vikings.
expect him to drop off at all.
No, he's not going to
he's
drop
back.
off at all. Just 2 seasons ago, he rushed for 2,000 yards.
True.
Finished 9 yards
Damn.
short of Eric Dickerson's record.
I really hope he doesn't sign with the Cowboys. That would be bad.
Yeah,
All
but
right,
that definitely makes things interesting on the Cowboys front in terms of what to do with DeMarco Murray and Des Bryant. Whether they tag DeMarco Murray, in which case it would eliminate them from the running to get Adrian Peterson, or it certainly makes things interesting for the Cowboys.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, things are always interesting with the Cowboys.
Of course. I mean, they can't not be in the headlines every day. I mean, Jerry
Yeah.
Jones, you know how he operates, even with his old age. Loves to see himself in the paper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
another running
Okay.
back who is rumored to be interested in the Cowboys, or have the Cowboys interested in him, is Reggie Bush.
Okay, hold up.
It's
Sean, before we move on to the next topic, can I actually run to the bathroom for a second?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I really have to pee! Just give me a second.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
We'll edit this out.
It's not like there's a live show or anything. Well,
Shut up, we'll edit it out.
technically a live show.
Jesus. What a scrub move. Oh my god. So what? Do I stop the broadcast and then restart it?
Hey. Alright, cool.
Is he back?
I'm back.
That is one of the biggest scrub moves I've ever seen.
Okay, well, excuse me. I had like 6 bottles of water at work today because they had like a whole carton of bottles of water because of the snow,
Alright.
and I just had a gigantic iced coffee. Excuse me for having to pee.
Hey, did you wash your hands at least?
Yes.
Okay. I was gonna make fun of you for not washing your hands. 'Cause I don't wash
Why
my
would I not wash my hands?
Just taking a piss, man. It sounds like you're taking a shit. Alright,
Yeah, Ethan thinks this is like the greatest thing ever. All I did was go to the bathroom.
it's really not that funny.
Yeah, I know. I really had to pee.
Oh my god. All right, let's move on.
Yeah,
Alright.
so Reggie Bush just got released by the Lions. Some others, big name players who got released by their teams is Packers released A.J. Hawk. Jacoby Jones got released by the Ravens, and D'Angelo Williams got released by the Panthers and had some negative things to say about their organization.
Yes. Living in Carolina or North Carolina, this has been a pretty heated debate between a lot of the Panther fans around here. I think the Panthers organization has been in the news a lot lately between Greg Hardy and everything. The news has not been particularly positive, but this certainly did not help the Panthers' cause at all. For those who don't know, DeAngelo Williams' mother suffered from breast cancer, and she unfortunately passed away before the start of last season. And the Panthers, and Sean, I'm explaining this to you. You said you didn't really know a lot about the situation, right?
Yeah.
Well, the Panthers used DeAngelo Williams' mom in the 2012 and the 2013 seasons, basically in their breast cancer awareness month and everything. And then when she died, only one player from the Panthers, and that was Greg Hardy, who's not going to be playing for them next year.
I didn't know that.
He was the only person who went to DeAngelo Williams' mother's funeral. Coach Ron Rivera and the general manager Dave Gettleman both called DeAngelo Williams and, of course, offered love and support. But Jerry Richardson did not go to the funeral. Jerry Richardson apparently was very indifferent to the whole thing. Like, apparently, when he actually did talk to DeAngelo Williams, he didn't have much to say. And yeah, it's an ugly situation. It's an ugly breakup. It's the second straight offseason now that the Panthers have had a breakup like this. You think of Steve. Well, I don't know if it's as bad, or I don't know if Steve Smith was as bad as this, but this is pretty bad. If you think about the fact that they basically used his mother as a prop, and then didn't go to a funeral. I mean, that's just.
He didn't go to his funeral. Like, it's your teammate. Go to his mother's funeral, man.
Right.
Not that hard.
And you know how much. I mean, DeAngelo Williams' mother was everything to him. I mean, he loved her so much, and it seemed like, if you're watching from afar, the Panthers organization loved her too. I mean, if they were using her in, all the breast cancer awareness month stuff, but no, I mean, really, it was. I guess it was fake, to be honest, and it's very disappointing to see the Panthers organization act like this.
Sounds like they just use DeAngelo's mother to sell those pink jerseys.
Yeah,
That's what it sounds like to me.
That's despicable. From an organization standpoint, that's like as low as you can go.
And Jerry Richardson is not popular in North Carolina. He's never been popular. I mean, he's the only owner the Panthers have ever known, and he has never been popular here. And this is definitely not going to help his cause in any way, shape, or form. I mean, this is just bad for Jerry Richardson. It's bad for the Panthers organization. It's bad for your heart goes out to DeAngelo Williams. I mean, DeAngelo Williams put 9 years into this organization, and now they're cutting him loose. And they had to find out. The Panthers fan base had to find out through through an interview with the NBC affiliate in Charlotte that DeAngelo Williams did. The team hasn't even said they're releasing DeAngelo Williams. They said they plan on it, but they haven't announced it yet. It's just a bad decision. Yeah. It's just a bad.
Well, okay, so I don't think it's necessarily I don't think you can fault the Panthers for cutting DeAngelo Williams. I mean, it happens. DeAngelo Williams actually gets hurt a lot too, so
right.
Not surprising, but I think more surprising is just the way and damning of the organization is just the way that the organization went about cutting him, not even telling him
right
that he's gonna be cut, and how not a single person from the Panthers organization went to his mother's funeral.
And I like what DeAngelo Williams had to say about Greg Hardy was that no matter what Greg Hardy does, he could never do anything bad in DeAngelo Williams' eyes anymore. And I think that's really interesting. And I think that shows that Greg Hardy was very popular with the Panthers despite of all of his off the field I don't
Like,
even know what
he was popular amongst the players.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
nobody had a problem in the locker room with Greg Hardy. They were, I guess, looking forward to him being back. But, I mean, now you're not going to have D'Angelo Williams and you're not going to have Greg Hardy back. It's going to be interesting time in Carolina. It's going to be an interesting season. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
it's gonna be all on Cam Newton's shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, the Panthers do have a handful of pretty solid running backs. Jonathan Stewart's really good. And when you get
Who's
down to
that
the
other guy?
and Fozzie Whitaker, he's okay.
Yeah, Fozzie.
He's more of a punt, kick return type guy, kind of like Philly Brown. But
Is he like a third down back, pass catching back out of the backfield?
yeah, you don't really, he had a nice touchdown against the Cardinals in the playoffs, but I can't think of too many Fozzie Whitaker highlights off the top of my head. The only one I can think of is the touchdown I just mentioned. Jonathan Stewart basically becomes the primary back now. You get down to the 1-yard line, you can hand it off to Mike Tolbert or Cam Newton can sneak it in. I think that D'Angelo Williams getting released is ultimately not going to hurt the Panthers too much, but on the field at least. I mean, in PR, this is a nightmare, but
Yeah, signing players isn't going to be easy.
And even with even Jonathan Stewart, he gets hurt a lot too.
Right. And now you're one injury away from Fozzie Whitaker being your starting running back.
I mean, both D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart got injured last year.
Right.
And made Fozzie Whitaker the featured back on that team.
Right. And I mean, even if you do get down to Fozzie Whitaker, you can have Mike Tolbert sneak in. I mean, that was the problem the Panthers had for a while, was that they had too many running backs. I mean, they had Williams and Stewart and Whitaker and Tolbert and so on.
Well,
Tolbert's
and so the fullback.
Right, but they still used him. And when he was coming from San Diego, he was used primarily as the running back. He was used as the running back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to me, Tolbert is more of a fullback than
right. I mean, he gets touchdowns, but he's not a running back. He's there. They call him the bowling ball because he just bowls through the offensive lines.
Yeah, and he's like 5 feet tall and 300 pounds of muscle.
Right. Big South represent, though.
Yeah.
Wait, where did Tolbert go? Coastal?
Went to Coastal Carolina. Yeah, he's a big Souther.
All right, moving on to some NBA talk.
Yeah.
Kendrick Perkins, we mentioned his trade from the Thunder last week. He got released from the Jazz.
Instantly.
Well, he got his contract bought out, not released. And then he, day later, signed with the Cavaliers to team up with LeBron and them to take another championship home for LeBron. But I think that's trouble if you're in the Eastern Conference and not the Cavaliers. Especially with the Wizards playing like garbage right now.
Yeah, and also with D-Rose getting injured, that is a huge loss to the Chicago Bulls, too.
I mean, at this point, I think you're looking at an NBA Finals matchup. I think you're looking at a potential NBA Finals preview tonight when the Cavaliers take on the Warriors. I think there's a pretty good chance that these are the two teams that face off in the finals when it comes down to that. So it's a game you're going to want to watch.
Who do the Warriors have
to... will definitely be at Atlanta, Cleveland in the Eastern Conference Finals, at least. I mean, I'm still going for Atlanta, but, I mean, yeah, the loss of Derrick Rose significantly decreases the Bulls' chances of making it to the NBA Finals and even making a deep run in the Eastern Conference playoffs.
Right. I mean, we saw...
Derrick Rose just had surgery on his knee again for the millionth time. He's out. We're not sure how long, but
nobody seems to know. Nobody seems to know how long Derrick Rose is going to be out for. I've heard some people say could be out for the season, could be out a while, could just quit his career. I mean, I don't want to, there are a lot of people out there who are saying Derrick Rose is a bust and he's so injury prone. But I don't think you can call Derrick Rose a bust. He has an MVP award when he's healthy.
Yeah.
One of the best.
he's not a bust.
He's not
He
Sam
flourished
Bowie or
before
anything.
he tore his ACL.
I mean,
He was a star. He was a star in the making. He was an MVP.
he was the best point guard in the NBA for the longest time before he got injured.
Right.
First time. And ever since he got injured the first time, he's been injury prone, but he accomplished a lot before that first injury, as you said, Brian. So he's not a bust at all. Could he have been better had he not gotten injured? Yeah,
absolutely.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But, I mean, you can't, it's asinine to say that Derrick Rose is a bust.
No, I'm not saying he's a bust.
No, I know. I'm just saying people that they're asinine. They're idiots.
Yeah, Derrick Rose. I mean, if this is really going to be what we know Derrick Rose for, getting hurt, he's not a bust. He's a what if. Like, what if Derrick Rose had gotten hurt?
He's an ESPN 30 for 30. What if I told you Derrick Rose didn't get hurt?
I mean,
the 30 for 30 beanie right now. Little plug-in for that. But yeah, that's essentially what Derrick Rose is. He's the future ESPN 30 for 30 documentary.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, what's up?
There's a lot of noise.
Yeah, what is
your
that?
End. It sounds like you're like crinkling paper or something.
Oh, I thought that was you guys.
No.
No, can you just
take that pillow away or something?
Yeah.
Pillow's gone.
All right. Now that's better.
Yeah, sorry about that.
All right. Another star who's just got injured is Kevin Durant. Minor foot injury.
He got hurt?
Yeah, he has a minor foot injury.
You act like this is some sort of huge deal. Derrick Rose has been hurt all season.
No, Kevin Durant.
I'm sorry, Kevin Durant has been hurt all season.
Oh no, I thought he came back though. I didn't know he got hurt again.
He's been on and off all season. It hasn't been good season for the Thunder. He just got minor surgery to repair a screw in his foot, which was put there earlier in the season due to a Jones fracture, which I guess is just a foot fracture or something. He might be out until playoff time. They're not really sure. They're gonna reevaluate him in a week.
Really?
Yeah, see how he's doing after that. But Thunder are done for this season unless Russell Westbrook over.
I disagree. I don't think the Thunder
are anybody.
I don't think the Thunder are done at all. I think that they're still plugging right along in the 7 and 8 seed spot, and Russell Wilson is averaging 29 points in his last 10 games.
Yeah, they're in the
Russell
8
Wilson's now that Russell Wilson has a chance to be the guy because of Kevin Durant being hurt, he's capitalizing and then some. I mean,
you mean Russell Westbrook, but that.
Why do I keep messing up names today? Russell Westbrook. What is wrong with me?
Well, the Thunder used to be the Seattle Supersonics.
But I wasn't thinking that or anything. It's not like I'm going to call the Thunder the Sonics or anything. But right now the Thunder are rolling. They've got 7 wins in a row under their belt, 9-1 in their last 10, and Russell Westbrook is killing it.
Yeah, I don't think the the Thunder are done for this season. I still think they're going to make the playoffs.
Of course you're going to make the playoffs.
What they do in the playoffs is going to depend on the availability and health of Kevin Durant, but I don't think they're done. I don't think they're out of it.
Oh,
not by a long stretch.
They're in the 8th seed in the East, which is like 10
West. They're in the West. They're in the West.
If they were in the East, they would be like.
They are in the West.
How do you not know your geography?
I don't know. Oklahoma City's like in the Midwest. I just think all that like 50-50.
Still West.
Is Ohio, I put Ohio in the Midwest too.
But Ohio's
geography.
More east of.
It's in the middle of the country, so it's.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Alright,
All right. Well, way to go,
Moving
Mr.
on.
Geography
No,
major.
so just finish your point then.
who,
Or
me?
did you already make it?
Do you still
No,
think
my
the Thunder
point was
are
blown
done?
up because I thought they were in the East.
Sean, the Thunder are going to make the playoffs. They're 32-25. They've won 7 in a row. They're 9-1 in their last 10, and they have a 2-game lead over the Pelicans, who are in the 9 spot right now.
Yeah,
I'd say the
but-
Thunder are in.
But they're still not going to do anything in the playoffs because they haven't played
Right.
together for
Right.
more than
Well, that's
time.
what my point was. In terms of what they do in the playoffs depends on the health and availability of Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true. I mean, you won the MVP last year. You want your MVP player,
Well, still,
arguably
even,
one of the best players in the league, to be playing.
even if he does return for the playoffs and he's fully healthy, they're not going to gel. They don't have the mojo they had at the beginning of the season. You know.
Well, didn't the
And
Thunder
every other
get off to a
playoff
slow
team has
start too?
The
Huh?
Thunder did get off to a slow
Yeah.
start. The Thunder, if anything, excuse me, have played a lot better since the season started. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I agree with you. I don't think they're going to go too far in the playoffs because I think Golden State, if they do have to play Golden State as the 8th seed, I mean, Golden State
Oh,
just
yeah,
walk
they're going to
right
get
over them.
crushed.
Right. Steph Curry, I think, is making a pretty compelling argument to win an MVP this year. So even if you have Kevin Durant, who was the MVP last year, I think that you'd be in a lot of trouble going into Golden State. I don't think you'd be able to win 4 games.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's certainly going to be tough. I mean, it depends on what seed they finish the regular season, whether they're an 8th, 7th, or 6th seed. That's also going to determine how they may do in the playoffs. But if they're in the 8th seed, it's going to be tough against Golden State.
Yeah, they're going to need to be in the 6th seed to even have a shot.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, just to end some the NBA talk on some good news. Kevin Durant's back with the Timberwolves.
Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, Kevin Garnett. I mean, he's back with the Timberwolves. See, Brian's got us all messing up now.
Everybody's just blame me. You're the one who thought Oklahoma was
You're the
on
one
the
who
East
started
Coast,
it.
dumbass.
You're the one who started it. All right.
Well, I don't think I made a mistake yet.
All right, it doesn't matter. Kevin Garnett's back with the Timberwolves.
Garnett?
Yeah, I said Garnett.
No, you said Durant again.
No, this time he said Garnett. I heard
Wow,
Garnett. You're just
All right.
hearing things.
All right,
You're
all right,
crazy.
let's retry this whole segment. All right, on to some other more positive NBA talk. Kevin Garnett is back with the Timberwolves.
Yes.
Timberwolves played the Wizards last night, and Ethan, you guys are right. When I saw him in the Timberwolves uniform, I was like, oh yeah, he's gonna be remembered as the Timberwolves. At least I'm gonna remember him as a Timberwolves now.
Yes.
So
I told you guys he's a Timberwolf through and through. I mean, even though he won his NBA title with the Celtics, he only played 5 years in Boston. I mean, and he played the rest of his career, or most of it. I don't even count his tenure with the Nets, to be honest.
yeah.
If you had asked me at the start of the season what team Kevin Garnett plays for, I'd have probably said the Celtics, to be honest.
Yeah, I forgot he played for the Nets.
I would have said he.
For a while,
I would have said he retired.
I was gonna say I forgot he was still even playing.
Yeah, like
Until he got
Kevin Garnett.
Back to the Timberwolves. But yeah,
I would have probably said, Kevin Durant, he plays for the Thunder, which is on the West, which is in the Western Conference.
just like Minnesota.
Yeah.
But like, where was it? Oh yeah, Garnett. He looked awesome in that Timberwolves jersey.
Yeah.
I mean, he belongs in that jersey.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's where his
Yeah.
prime was. I mean, that's where he was basically raised as an NBA player. I mean, he is the Timberwolves franchise.
Right. I mean, if it wasn't for Kevin Garnett, I don't even know if the Timberwolves would still be in Minnesota.
Yeah, it's a hockey city. It's a hockey state.
Right.
So I don't even, if it weren't for Kevin Garnett being as great as he was in his prime, I would have to agree with you. I don't know if the Timberwolves would still be in Minnesota.
All right. I mean, that's all I have to say on Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, me too.
I was gonna say they played the Wizards yesterday or 2 days ago and
I think it was last
crushed
night.
them 97-77. Wizards are playing horrible now. I told you guys after the All-Star break is all that matters, and they're just getting
They're
crushed.
stinking it up.
Is Paul Pierce hurt? Because I saw him in a suit last night.
I don't know. I didn't hear anything.
Have you just stopped caring at this point? Because that's what I've done with my NBA
maybe he
team.
is. I think he played against the Timberwolves, didn't he?
No, I think they played the Timberwolves last night, didn't they?
I thought that was 2 nights ago.
My perception of time is all messed
maybe it was
up.
last night.
Wait, what did you say, Brian?
It probably
My
was.
perception of time is all messed up, so I have no idea.
Yeah. But I mean, if Paul Pierce is hurt, he's not a key player on the Wizards, I don't think, but he's still
Yeah, he kind of is. He kind of
some big minutes, and what does he average, like 14, 16 points a game for the Wizards?
Yeah, he'll average 10 plus.
Yeah, so I mean that's still a pretty big loss for them, and he probably provides a lot of veteran leadership to that team. So I mean, if Paul Pierce is out for an extended period of time, then that's going to be a huge loss for the Wizards.
Paul Pierce is another guy I thought was retired.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as that trade happened, I was like, yep, they're retired to me.
Yeah,
I didn't even.
They went to the Nets and the whole world forgot about
my
it.
team. The team I love is arch rivals with the Nets, and I couldn't tell you Paul Pierce played for them.
Well, I mean, I just hope Paul Pierce comes back like Kevin Garnett and retires as a Celtic, or even pull like a Nomar, in which he signs a 1-day contract and retires as a Celtic, or Nomar's case as a Red Sox. But I mean, I'm done with my spiel or point. But anything else on this topic?
No.
No. The Maryland Terrapins played the Wisconsin Badgers a couple nights ago.
Yes.
I think that's when the Wizards were playing the Timberwolves, and I didn't watch the game because the Maryland game was on.
Right. The Maryland game was much more compelling than any Wiz game ever
great.
would be. So.
Or no, that's the Wizards were playing the Warriors, and they made it a close game, but they still lost. But anyway, the Terps, they're ranked 14 in the nation.
14th in the nation.
14 in the nation. Wisconsin was 5. Terps went in their home floor, and the students rushed the floor. As a 14 seed, as a 14 in the nation, they rushed the floor, which I disagree with, but I wasn't mad about it. Like, there's just a bunch of drunk college kids just hanging out, you know?
Yeah, I mean, this is my take on court storming. Like, I don't think it should be a ban, because I feel like court storming is part of what makes college basketball so great, is that you can still do that. But there has to be rules and guidelines. Like, you can't be a top 15 team and rush the court unless you upset the number 1 team in the nation. I mean,
no, even then, like,
yeah, even then, that's a little borderline.
Yeah, if we played Duke, since we have a rivalry with Duke, and Duke was ranked like 1 or 2 in the nation, and we're, I guess, like top 25, hovering around the top 25, then okay, you can storm the court then.
Right.
But we're like top 15 teams don't storm the court.
Right.
They're
Exactly.
better than that. But the problem with the Terps is we haven't been top 15 in the nation in 10 years.
What I was gonna say was, not only have you not been top 15 in the nation since Gary Williams was your head coach, this is a pretty big win. Wisconsin not only is ranked in the top 5, they went to the Final Four last year. This is your biggest win since moving from the ACC to the Big Ten. A move I don't agree with that move, but this is their biggest win since they moved from the ACC to the Big Ten, and it'll probably be their biggest win for a while. I mean, this establishes that Maryland is here to stay in the Big Ten Conference.
Yeah, I agree with you, Brian. I don't agree with the move at all. I think it's stupid. Like, to me, Maryland will always be an ACC school. Like, a Big Ten, those schools are in the Midwest. Like, Maryland is not a Big Ten school to me. They will always be ACC, even though they're in the Big Ten. But to go back to, like, the guidelines of, or to go back to Maryland storming the court, I saw a tweet or a Facebook status of your friend Brian. I think it was Andrew. Your friend
Snyder, right?
Yeah, Snyder. And he was like, "Why the hell did we rush the court again?" I thought that was perfect. That was a great tweet, a great status. And I think I sent it to you too.
Yeah, I mean, he's a pretty big Terps basketball fan, and he's been wondering why they stormed the court. So if he's wondering, then I guess I understand why people are questioning. But again, this is Maryland's biggest win in the Big Ten, in their very brief Big Ten era, if you will. So I understand why some students were excited. I mean, it's huge. It's huge.
But again, is it court storming worthy? I don't think so. And going back to what makes it a game worthy court storming, it has to be an unranked team upsetting a ranked team at home. 2, it can be against rivals if the two teams are ranked, but there has to be, like as Sean said, there has to be like a big enough difference where like it can't be separated. It has to be separated by more than 10 rankings at the minimum.
Right.
And even then that will be iffy. Also, if a team like clinches a regular season conference title for the first
time,
like
that was my next question to you.
Yeah,
where
Ethan, you sound like an old man coming up with rules on when you can and can't storm the court.
Right.
Like, you know those old people who are like, oh, don't storm the court, it's tradition, this is stupid, blah blah blah. All that. You just sound old.
No, but
sound old and outdated.
Go back
to college.
No, I love court storming. I don't want it to be banned, but I'm just saying, like, if you were to list of reasons of what makes a game court storming worthy, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm listing. Those are the reasons. But
that's why I was going to ask you about the High Point situation from last year. Because last year, High Point won the Big South regular season title on the Millis Center floor, and we stormed the court. It was one of the greatest moments of my time at college, storming the court. But you were going down the guidelines, and I didn't hear that on your list of rules and regulations for storming the court. So
Well, then I did mention it,
right.
and also there's another guideline in which if a team hasn't beaten a certain team or like a rival in like 5 years
Right.
at all, like when High Point beat Winthrop in double overtime, even though that one
That was dumb
that
to
one
me.
was a little more questionable.
That was dumb to me. First off, I'm not just saying that because I couldn't storm the court.
Right.
I'm saying that because I thought that was stupid from the time I saw people storm the court. I
participated in that, but looking back on it now, I'm like, maybe that wasn't court storming worthy. But
that was definitely not court. I understand why we stormed the court last year. That one I don't understand.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the reason why they stormed the court freshman year after the win against Winthrop was because like Winthrop had like beaten us every time for the last 5 years. Also, it was an epic double overtime game, and so I think people were just like excited and wanted a reason to storm the court.
I still think that Maryland fans should have stormed the court. I kind of saw it coming when I was watching the end of that game. When I realized Maryland was actually going to win the game, my first thought was, they're probably going to storm the court after this thing. I mean, it's a huge game. It was a huge game for Maryland. I think, I wish that they were still playing Duke and teams like that.
Right.
If they were playing Duke and they won that game, more power to them. Storm the court, tear down the baskets for all I care.
Oh yeah,
but,
it's Duke.
Yeah, but I think that Wisconsin's been the big dog in the Big Ten for the past few years. They made it to the Final Four last year. Go ahead, storm the court. I don't care. Storm the court.
Yeah, I mean, again, I wasn't upset with it. I just wouldn't have stormed the court.
So you're saying
I'm not upset with it either. I'm just saying. I mean, go ahead and storm the court, but I'm with you, Sean. Like, I wouldn't have. Like, I mean, and I can also see why they would want to storm the court because, like you said, Brian, like it's their first marquee win in the Big Ten. They took down the big dog in the Big Ten Conference at home in their first year in the Big Ten. So I can see that a little bit, but I'm still more on the fence of that being a questionable court storm game.
Now, I have a question for both of you. If you were at the game, let's say you're in the Maryland student section at the game, and you're about to beat Wisconsin, do you think you guys would have the same opinion you have now? Would you guys not storm the court?
Oh, that's a good question.
Wait, say that again?
Say you're a Maryland student. Let's say you're a University of Maryland student. You're in the student section, having a good night. Your team's about, you had this sick flash mob in the first half, which if you haven't seen, you need to check it out.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. And you're about to take down the number 5 team in the land, and somebody says, let's storm the court. Do you go? That's a completely different scenario from what we're dealing with as rank outsiders, watching Maryland fans storm the court and then formulating our own opinions about it.
No, as a Maryland fan, I'd be like, no. I mean, it probably depends on how many beers I've had, but as a Maryland fan, stone cold sober, no. Like Wisconsin, we're 14th. We are 14th in the nation. I'm not going to storm the court for that.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say, if that happened. And I was at the game. Number one, if I was at the game, I would probably be drunk, or a little buzzed at the least.
Yeah, which
and number two, because of that, and someone asked me, I'd be like, oh yeah, let's go. But if I was stone cold sober, I'd be like Sean, like, I mean, really, do you think this is really court storm worthy?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk to my friends at Maryland and just get their opinions
Yeah,
on this.
we should gotten them on like as guests.
Not all of my friends went to the game because it was on a Tuesday night, but
But
I
like
definitely
we
think
should
that
get Snyder on.
I will talk to my friends. I will let you know their opinions, but
They should come on next week.
well, all right. Well, I'll see if I can get them on. All
right, let's do it. All right.
That's not a guarantee. That's not a guarantee.
Okay. But so also another thing along with the court storming is Kansas State upsetting Kansas on their home floor. That, in my opinion, was a court storming worthy game because
Right.
they're number one, they're rivals, huge rivals, and number two, Kansas State is an unranked team, and Kansas, I think, was ranked number 8 in the country.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that is 100% a court storming worthy game.
Yeah, that was
Right.
But it got a little out of control.
Yeah, they just got out of hand. The fans got out of hand.
Right.
Actually, just pushed one of the Kansas players, and I think he's being looked for by university campus, which is crazy.
That's out of control. That's a completely different scenario from everything that happened in College Park. I mean, nobody got hurt at Maryland. Right. Maryland fans in general are pretty chill, pretty laid back. I don't think that they'd ever intentionally hurt any Wisconsin players. So
I don't think any fans would.
No, I don't even know. I don't know enough details about this Kansas State. I do know that got a little bit out of hand, and K-State had to apologize to Bill Self in Kansas for the way they acted, which is it's nice of them. I mean, that's nice of them, I guess. But
I still think Kansas State, like, I don't think they shouldn't have stormed the court. They 100% absolutely had the right to storm the court, but I think the security needs to do a much better job.
Right.
In terms of that, and I think
they're not going to hire security just in case.
Too. Like,
yeah,
you're playing a ranked rival at home. Every game there is a chance that you could upset them and beat them at home. So you should have extra security on the floor just in case that happens.
You know how much security you need to stop kids from storming the court?
Yeah, that's a valid point.
No. I'm not saying that they should have.
You need to hire the whole university campus police.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't hire extra security to prevent kids from storming the court. Hire extra security to make sure that the kids don't get out of hand when they do. That's what I'm saying.
How are you going to make sure kids don't get out of hand? There's a million of them.
Well, a lot of schools, when that happens, they either forego the customary handshake line, or like they have they run yellow tape along the sideline where the benches are, so the teams can shake hands and then leave safely. And I don't think Kansas State even did that. So,
because
they needed to do that. And
there's a bunch of kids that stormed the court. It was like 1,000, 2,000 kids. They just rushed onto the court the minute the buzzer sounded. So security is not going to be a solution. It's just kids have to stop being assholes. That's what the problem is.
I agree that kids need to not be assholes because, hey, what if that kid ends up being the reason why court storming is banned all across college basketball? It's going to be his fault. And every college student in America is going to hate him for the rest of his life. But I still think there were measures that security could have taken.
Yeah.
To mitigate the craziness and and to enhance the player safety,
I don't know.
even with students storming the court, because other schools have been able to do it.
I
For the
feel
most
like
part,
I feel like
successfully.
I feel like they did take precautions to make sure to like just in case kids storm the court, but they just were overwhelmed, and they're always gonna be because they're gonna be outnumbered 20-1 every single time. But moving on, we're kind of ranting here. Um, the Oscars were this past Sunday. A lot of talk about it. Apparently there was a ratings dip, but
Yes.
I don't know. I don't really.
Did I tell you guys my Oscar story?
No.
Well, every year my family does an Oscar pool, and we bet money on it. We actually put $20 each
Oh,
on
really?
this. Yeah, we're pretty into it. It's kind of like our March Madness. I'm like the only person in my family that really cares about March Madness. So for everybody else, this is like their March Madness. Going into the Best Actor category, there with 4 categories to go, I had a 1-point lead basically. And I just needed 1 category to officially clinch my victory. I needed 2 categories to clinch my victory. So I had Michael Keaton winning Best Actor, and he lost. He lost to Eddie Redmayne, who won for Stephen Hawking. Best Actress, Julianne Moore was far and away the winner. I got that one right. Best Director, this is where I messed up. I picked Richard Linklater, the director of Boyhood, and he lost, and that tied me with my uncle going into Best Picture. So it came down to Best Picture in my family's Oscar pool. I had Boyhood, and my uncle had Birdman, and I lost.
Well, also a lot of times, Best Director ends up winning Best Movie.
I know. As soon as he won Best Director, I should have started thinking. I should have thought, oh, I lost. I should have. Better luck next year. Should have thought of that.
Wait, so Brian, you watched the entire thing?
Yes, I watched the entire Oscar ceremony.
Ethan, did you watch it at all?
I watched most of it, yes.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I don't like award shows at all.
I mean,
I watch the Grammys every once in a while, but I don't know. I don't even like the Grammys that much.
I hate the Grammys.
yeah.
I don't think I watched the Grammys.
I don't even watch the ESPYs, man. I don't even like the ESPYs.
I like the ESPYs.
Yeah, I like the ESPYs too. But
I don't think you need an award for sports, but that's a topic for another day.
Yeah.
I think
I just like watching.
the Oscars are the best award show
Then it's settled.
in general. But
So what are you guys' favorite sports movies? I have
Ethan, go ahead.
I have my top 3 right here, but yeah. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
same here.
all right, so I mean, this is tough because there are so many great sports movies out there. But I'm going to have to go with. Good God, this is so hard. Gonna have to go Field of Dreams, The Sandlot, and Bull Durham are my top 3.
Wait, what was the last one?
Bull Durham.
Bull Durham?
Yeah.
Have you not seen Bull Durham?
Never even heard of it.
Kevin
What the hell?
What is
Wait,
it
what?
about?
He hasn't
is it
heard
about?
or seen Bull Durham.
Okay, Bull Durham
What's it about?
made the Durham Bulls, the AAA team for the Devil Rays. Like, Bull Durham made Durham relevant, made the Carolina League relevant. I mean, it is one of the greatest sports movies of all time. There's so many. It's so quotable. There's so many.
Yeah, you
Great
guys really
film.
love the Carolina League, don't you?
Well, I mean, that's just the league that existed then, or in the movie. But it's like a classic. It's a classic. You have to watch it.
Sean, we'll watch Bull Durham. I'll show you Bull Durham. Bull Durham's awesome. It's a great movie. It's
right.
not in my top 3, though. It is not in my top 3.
Ooh,
Wait, Ethan, what were your other two? Field of Dreams and what else?
Sandlot.
Sandlot. Okay. Yeah,
I do.
Sandlot didn't make my top 3.
I do share a common theme here with Mr. Winter here, in that all 3 of my my movies are baseball movies.
Yeah.
I also don't have any particular order to my top 3. I just think these are my 3 favorite sports movies. I went with The Rookie, which I love.
The Rookie?
The Rookie is one of my favorite.
The Disney
movies.
movie?
Yes, the Disney movie.
In your top 3 sports movies of all time. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. Wow.
I love The Rookie. Do you not love The Rookie? How can you not love The Rookie?
I think I've seen bits and pieces of it on TV, but
there's so many great sports movies out there. There's so many great baseball movies.
Oh man, The Rookie's great.
I'm not saying it's not. That there's so many great sports movies.
You guys forgot about the 90s, man.
And then my other 2 are Moneyball, which I also love very much. I was surprised that wasn't on your top 3, actually, Ethan.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, it's really hard to pick the top 3.
And then I had to go with Major League, which I think is one of the funniest sports movies ever made. I'm not as, I've talked to people about this before. I'm not as crazy about Major League 2 and 3, but Major League 1, Major League Original is outstanding. I could watch that any day.
Yeah. That is a good movie. I like that one.
Yeah, Major League all the way.
Alright, you guys ready for my top 3? They're going to blow yours guys out of the water. You guys didn't even think about anything other than baseball, did you?
No, I did think. But
yeah, Sean, it was very tough for me not to include Miracle on my list. I will say that.
Yeah. It's still wouldn't be in my top 3. Alright, number 3 for me. It's technically a sports movie, but it's more of a comedy, but it's Happy Gilmore with Sam. Love that movie. That was my favorite movie as a kid. Absolutely.
That is a borderline sports movie.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
It's not
sort of a sports
not
movie.
even a sports movie. I don't consider it a sports movie.
It's about
Happy
golf.
Gilmore is not a sports movie.
No.
Yes, it is. Are you kidding?
No way.
No, it's
okay.
About golf.
Just because it's about golf doesn't mean it's a sports movie.
Just because it's a comedy doesn't mean it's a comedy movie. All right, it's a sports movie. All right,
I disagree. I disagree.
Number two. This is also, I guess this was in the 90s. I'm not sure. Space Jam.
Oh yes.
You guys forgetting the classics, man.
Space Jam.
I love Space Jam, but top 3s. You're gonna criticize me for having The Rookie in my top 3.
You think The Rookie is better than Space Jam?
I think Space Jam is better than The Rookie.
Space Jam, the cartoon, crossed over with live action.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and it came out when we were kids, and it was spectacular.
It features Monstars taking talent away from NBA players and Bill Murray coming on with 2 minutes to go in the game.
Brian, it had an ESPN 30 for 30 short about it.
That wasn't even real.
It's still a 30 for 30 short.
That's not even real. That was fake. All right, continue.
Space Jam is what's up.
What's number 1 on your stupid list, Sean?
Oh, you better not call my list stupid. Number 1, you guys, I don't know how you guys did not think of this, but number 1 for me is Remember the Titans.
All right, there you go.
One of the best movies ever made.
You're going to criticize me for having a Disney movie on my list?
You know, Brian.
I love Remember the Titans, but you criticize me for having a Disney movie on my list.
Wait, Remember the Titans was a Disney movie?
Yes!
Oh, I didn't know that. I just know it was a great movie.
But, you know, Brian, one of the best quotes and most real quotes out there is that quote in from Moneyball. I just saw it the other day on MLB memes. Um, there comes a day when we are told that we can't play baseball anymore. Some of us are told at 40, and most of us are told at 18. But that day will come. I think it's along those lines. I kind of butchered it a little bit, but that is one of the best quotes I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, definitely, and it's very symbolic of the Moneyball movie. There are a lot of really
It's not just symbolic about the movie. It's symbolic about life.
And Dylan, by the way, just texted me Space Jam over everything.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. That was the best movie ever.
Look! If I may talk to the McNiff family exclusively here, I am not criticizing Space Jam the movie. I think Space Jam's awesome. But top 3 greatest sports movies of all time? Sports
Illustrated. Don't even talk. You put the fucking Rookie in your top 3, alright, Brian?
Because the Rookie is awesome!
No. It's not better than
I'll
Space
take the
Jam.
Rookie over Space Jam any day of the week.
No.
And not top 3 worthy.
I'm never taking movie opinions from you again, Brian Brennan.
I'm surprised.
All right.
I'm surprised you still listen to my opinion.
I have to go to work soon.
All right. Yeah. Let's transition into the final word.
Yes.
I guess I know what I'm talking about.
Well, if you want,
I
have a rant prepared if you guys want
me
to go.
All right, go ahead, Brian.
All right, so
Brian.
My final word this week. It's not really a rant.
Wait, hold on. Should we time it?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. All right, go ahead. I don't care.
Okay, so 1 minute.
Yeah.
I'll flash like a 10 and like a 5.
All right. My rant this week. It's not really a rant. It's more of a pitch to Stuart Sternberg, the principal owner of the Tampa Bay Rays. I'm not a Rays fan. I'm a Yankees fan. I'm not from North Carolina. I was raised in Connecticut. I was born in New York. But on behalf of the great state of North Carolina, I am telling you to move your franchise to North Carolina. I think that on behalf of the professional teams here, there's been incredible sports growth over the past 30 years or so. We've seen the Carolina Panthers come to Charlotte. We've seen the Carolina Hurricanes come to Raleigh, and, of course, the Hornets. I think the only thing missing from the puzzle is a Major League Baseball team in the city of Charlotte or Raleigh. Doesn't matter. Pick your poison. I think you can build your market by putting minor league teams throughout the entire state, whether you put them in the triad, triangle, outside of Charlotte, Asheville, anywhere. I think there's a great market for North Carolina professional baseball. I've heard rumors that the Tampa Bay Rays are considering Montreal, and I think that they should consider Carolina. That's all I'm saying.
All right, that's the buzzer. Thanks for your input on the Carolina team. Carolina they've never had a professional baseball team, have they?
Never a major league
team.
Yeah, Major League, yeah, I guess.
That was my pitch. I think the Tampa Bay Rays should relocate to Charlotte.
All right, Brian, you want to go next?
I just went.
I mean, Ethan, sorry.
All right, sure.
Ethan, you want to go next?
Yeah. All right, so I don't know if you guys heard about the Baylor running back being ruled ineligible by the NCAA because he was homeless and a family friend gave him an apartment to live in. This just goes back to show how hypocritical the NCAA is. They have all these rules, and they make these rulings not really thinking about the human aspect of it. They're just like cyborgs or robots. Saying whenever someone breaks a rule, no matter what the circumstances are, they're automatically ineligible. Meanwhile, you have like Jameis Winston, who actually may or may not have committed a felony, and he doesn't get punished at all. So read on this.
All right. Adding to that, the Baylor running back who got suspended or whatever, he tweeted out that he's sorry that he broke the rules. He's like, bottom line, I broke the rules and I apologize. And I was like, you're apologizing for accepting a friendly gesture.
Right.
Homeless.
Like, what the hell?
All right. Anyway, my rant this week is about, or my final word this week is about the Washington Wizards. As I told you guys, they were doing good before the All-Star break, but I don't care about anything before the All-Star break. It's what you do after the All-Star break that matters, and they are doing horrible. They're 2-8 in their last 10. Got crushed by the Timberwolves the other night, as we said. Made a game of it against the Warriors, which was good. I thought that would get them back into things, but it didn't. And then right after the All-Star break, they lost to the Cavaliers by like 100, which I don't want to lose to the Cavaliers at all. Yeah, this rant is coming up short, but that's really all I have. Wizards aren't doing good.
All right. So I guess that is our 5th episode of the Sports Pulse.
Yes, indeed. Before we sign off, to any new listeners out there, do not forget you can find us on Facebook. Just type in the Sports Pulse. Be sure to give us a like, and you can also find us on Twitter at @the_sports_pulse.
Right.
Follow us.
Follow us on Twitter, Facebook. Subscribe to us on iTunes, all that jazz. I'll post every link on my blog. And taking us out, we got Stillwater with Fever Dog. Fuck, Alright, we fucked up like 100 times this episode.
Yeah.
Alright.